Welcome to Mr. English Stories. Today, we're going to talk about something that can completely change your life. Something that separates people who achieve their goals from people who remain stuck in the same place year after year. Success. Every person wants success. Some people want success in their careers. Some people want success in business. Some people want success in learning English. Others want success in their relationships, health, finances, or personal growth. But have you ever asked yourself why some people continue moving forward while others stay exactly where they started? Why do some people achieve their dreams while others spend years making excuses? Why do some people grow stronger after failure while others give up completely? Listen carefully. The answer is not luck. The answer is not talent. The answer is not intelligence. The answer is psychology. The way you think determines the way you act. The way you act determines your habits. And your habits determine your future. Most people believe success happens suddenly. They see a successful person and think, wow, that person is lucky. They see a successful business owner, athlete, or leader and believe success appeared overnight. But that is not how success works. Success is usually invisible before it becomes visible. Think about a tree. Before you see the tree above the ground, roots are growing beneath the surface. Nobody sees the roots. Nobody applauds the roots. Nobody celebrates the roots. But without strong roots, the tree cannot survive. Human success works exactly the same way. Long before success becomes visible, habits are being built. Discipline is being developed. Character is being strengthened. Small actions are being repeated every day. And eventually, those small actions create extraordinary results. Remember this carefully. Success is not one big decision. Success is thousands of small decisions. It is choosing to study when you want to watch television. It is choosing to practice when you feel tired. It is choosing to continue when progress feels slow. Most people are looking for a secret. They want a shortcut. They want a magical formula that will change everything overnight. But successful people understand something important. There are no shortcuts to meaningful success. There is only consistent effort. And consistency is more powerful than intensity. Many people work very hard for a few days. They feel motivated. They feel excited. They feel unstoppable. Then motivation disappears. They stop. Successful people are different. They continue when motivation disappears. They continue when excitement disappears. They continue when progress feels invisible. That is why they succeed. Listen carefully. Motivation can help you start, but discipline helps you continue. And discipline is often the true difference between success and failure. Imagine two people who want to learn English. The first person studies only when they feel motivated. The second person studies every day, even when they do not feel motivated. After 1 year, who will speak better English? The answer is obvious. The person who practiced consistently. This lesson applies to every area of life. Success is not about doing something perfectly. Success is about doing something consistently. Another important truth is this. Most people underestimate the power of small habits. They think small actions do not matter. They think reading 10 pages is not enough. They think practicing English for 15 minutes is not enough. They think exercising for 20 minutes is not enough. So they do nothing. But successful people understand that small actions become powerful when they are repeated. 1 page every day becomes a book. 1 workout every day becomes a stronger body. 1 English lesson every day becomes fluency. Small actions create big transformations. Remember this carefully. Your future is being created by what you repeatedly do today. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Today. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect moment. They say, I will start when I have more time. I will start when I feel ready. I will start when conditions improve. But successful people understand that perfect conditions rarely exist. If you wait for perfect conditions, you may wait forever. The best time to begin is usually now. Even if your first step is small, even if your progress feels slow, even if you are afraid, action creates momentum, and momentum creates success. Another dangerous mistake many people make is focusing only on results. They become obsessed with the destination. They want immediate success, immediate rewards, immediate improvement. But real growth often happens slowly. At first, progress may be invisible. At first, improvement may be difficult to notice. At first, it may feel like nothing is changing. But something important is happening beneath the surface. Skills are developing. Knowledge is growing. Confidence is increasing. Discipline is becoming stronger. And eventually, those invisible improvements become visible results. This is why patience is so important. Most people quit too early. They quit because they cannot see immediate results. They quit because progress feels slow. They quit because success takes longer than expected. But successful people understand a powerful truth. Slow progress is still progress. Every step forward matters. Every lesson matters. Every practice session matters. Every improvement matters. Little by little, those small improvements create a completely different life. Another important lesson is responsibility. Successful people take responsibility for their actions. They do not spend all their time blaming circumstances. They do not spend all their time blaming other people. They do not spend all their time complaining. Instead, they ask themselves a powerful question. What can I do today to improve my situation? This question changes everything because it moves your attention away from excuses and toward solutions. Successful people focus on solutions. Unsuccessful people often focus on excuses. Think about this carefully. Two people can face the same problem. One person complains. The other person takes action. Months later, their lives look completely different. Why? Because their responses were different. The problem was the same. The opportunity was the same. The difference was mindset. And mindset is incredibly powerful. The way you think affects everything. If you constantly tell yourself that success is impossible, your actions will reflect that belief. If you constantly tell yourself that improvement is possible, your actions will reflect that belief. Your mind is always listening to the words you repeat. That is why successful people pay attention to their thoughts. They do not pretend life is easy. They do not ignore difficulties, but they choose to focus on possibilities instead of limitations. Listen carefully. Every successful person has experienced failure. Every successful person has made mistakes. Every successful person has felt fear. The difference is that they did not allow those experiences to stop them. Many people think failure is the opposite of success, but that is not true. Failure is often part of success. Failure teaches lessons. Failure creates experience. Failure develops resilience. Failure shows you what needs improvement. Imagine a child learning to walk. The child falls many times, but the child does not decide that walking is impossible. The child keeps trying, again and again. Eventually, walking becomes natural. Success works the same way. Many adults are afraid of failure. They avoid risks. They avoid challenges. They avoid opportunities. Why? Because they do not want to make mistakes. But remember this carefully. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. Improvement happens outside your comfort zone. Success happens outside your comfort zone. If you always stay where you feel comfortable, your life will remain the same. But when you challenge yourself, something amazing happens. You become stronger. You become more confident. You become more capable. And little by little, success becomes possible. Another important truth is this. Successful people do not always feel confident. Many people believe confidence comes first. They think successful people take action because they feel confident. But reality is often the opposite. Confidence grows because people take action. Action comes first. Confidence comes later. The first time you do something new, you may feel nervous. The second time feels slightly easier. The third time feels even easier. After enough repetition, confidence begins to grow. This is true for public speaking. This is true for learning English. This is true for starting a business. This is true for almost everything in life. Confidence is not magic. Confidence is earned through experience. And experience comes through action. That is why successful people act, even when they feel uncertain. They understand that waiting for confidence can keep you stuck forever. Instead, they move forward despite fear. And every small victory makes them stronger. Remember this carefully. You do not need to feel ready. You do not need to feel fearless. You do not need perfect conditions. You simply need to begin. Because success is rarely about being perfect. Success is about continuing. Continuing when progress is slow. Continuing when motivation disappears. Continuing when obstacles appear. Continuing when nobody is watching. The psychology of success is simple. Think better. Act consistently. Learn from failure. Stay patient. Take responsibility. Trust the process. And never stop moving forward. Because the person you become tomorrow is being created by the choices you make today. Another important lesson is this. Successful people understand the power of delayed gratification. This may sound like a difficult idea, but it is actually very simple. Delayed gratification means choosing a bigger reward later instead of a smaller reward now. Most people struggle with this. Why? Because the human brain loves immediate pleasure. It loves comfort. It loves easy rewards. It loves things that feel good right now. For example, imagine a student who wants to improve their English. They have two choices. The first choice is watching random videos for 3 hours. The second choice is spending 1 hour practicing English. The first choice feels easier. The first choice feels more comfortable. But the second choice creates a better future. Successful people learn to make decisions based on their future, not only their present feelings. Listen carefully. Your future is built by the decisions you make when nobody is watching. Anyone can work hard when they feel motivated. Anyone can stay focused when everything is easy. But real character appears during difficult moments. Real character appears when you have a choice between comfort and growth. Every day, life asks you a question. Do you want what is easy, or do you want what is valuable? The answer to that question often determines your future. Another powerful truth is this. Successful people think long-term. Most people think about today. Some people think about this week. A few people think about this year. But highly successful people think about years ahead. They understand that today's actions create tomorrow's opportunities. That is why they are willing to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term success. Imagine planting a fruit tree. You do not plant the seed today and expect fruit tomorrow. You understand that growth requires time. You water the tree. You protect the tree. You remain patient. And eventually, the tree produces fruit. Success follows the same principle. Many people want the fruit. Very few people are willing to plant the seed. Even fewer are willing to care for the seed every day. But successful people understand that every great achievement begins as a small seed. Another lesson successful people understand is the importance of focus. We live in a world full of distractions. Phones, social media, notifications, entertainment, endless information. Many people spend their entire day reacting to distractions. As a result, they never make meaningful progress. Listen carefully. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention is constantly distracted, your results will also be scattered. But when you focus your attention on important goals, your progress becomes much faster. Imagine sunlight. Normal sunlight warms the ground. But when sunlight passes through a magnifying glass, it becomes powerful enough to start a fire. Why? Because the energy becomes focused. Human effort works the same way. Focus creates power. Focus creates results. Focus creates success. Another dangerous habit is constantly comparing yourself to other people. Many people lose confidence because they spend too much time looking at someone else's success. They see someone speaking perfect English. They see someone making more money. They see someone achieving bigger goals. And they begin thinking, I'm not good enough. I am too far behind. I will never reach that level. But listen carefully. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy motivation. Because you are comparing your current chapter to someone else's chapter 20. You are comparing your beginning to someone else's result. That is not fair. Remember this carefully. Every successful person was once a beginner. Every expert was once inexperienced. Every confident person was once nervous. Every strong person was once weak. The people you admire today were not born successful. They became successful through consistent effort. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to the person you were yesterday. Ask yourself simple questions. Am I learning? Am I improving? Am I growing? Am I moving forward? If the answer is yes, then you're already succeeding. Because success is not only about reaching a destination. Success is also about becoming a better version of yourself. Another important truth is this. Successful people protect their environment. Many people underestimate the influence of their surroundings. But your environment affects your thoughts, habits, and decisions. If you spend all your time around negative people, negativity becomes normal. If you spend all your time around lazy people, laziness becomes normal. If you spend all your time around people who complain, complaining becomes normal. That is why successful people are careful about what they allow into their minds. They choose positive influences. They choose educational content. They choose supportive relationships. They choose environments that encourage growth. This does not mean life becomes perfect. Problems still exist. Challenges still appear. Difficulties still happen. But a positive environment makes it easier to continue moving forward. Another lesson that many people forget is gratitude. At first, gratitude may not seem connected to success, but it is. Very successful people often appreciate what they already have while working toward what they want. They understand that happiness cannot always wait for future achievements. Imagine a person who constantly says, I will be happy when I become rich. I will be happy when I become fluent in English. I will be happy when I achieve my goal. That person may spend years postponing happiness. Successful people think differently. They appreciate today's progress while continuing to pursue tomorrow's goals. This mindset creates energy. This mindset creates motivation. This mindset creates resilience. Because gratitude reminds you that progress is already happening. Another important truth is this: success is not always visible. Sometimes the biggest victories happen inside your mind. Maybe you became more disciplined. Maybe you became more patient. Maybe you became more confident. Maybe you learned how to handle failure. These victories matter. In fact, they often matter more than external achievements. Because external success can disappear. Money can disappear. Titles can disappear. Opportunities can disappear. But character stays with you. Discipline stays with you. Wisdom stays with you. Experience stays with you. That is why personal growth is one of the most valuable forms of success. Listen carefully. The strongest people are not always the smartest. The strongest people are often the most persistent. They refuse to quit. They refuse to give up. They refuse to let temporary failures define their future. And persistence is incredibly powerful. Imagine water falling on stone. One drop does not change the stone. 100 drops do not change the stone. 1,000 drops may not change the stone. But after years of continuous drops, even stone begins to change. Persistence creates transformation. Success is often less about talent and more about persistence. Many talented people quit too early. Many ordinary people succeed because they continue. Never underestimate the power of persistence. Never underestimate the power of showing up every day. Never underestimate the power of refusing to quit. Because every day you continue, you become stronger. Every day you continue, you gain experience. Every day you continue, you move closer to your goals. Remember this carefully. The psychology of success is not complicated. Success begins with the way you think. It grows through the habits you build. It becomes stronger through discipline. It develops through patience. It survives through persistence. And it becomes reality through action. Success is not reserved for special people. Success is available to ordinary people who consistently do extraordinary things. People who continue learning. People who continue growing. People who continue trying. People who continue believing. And most importantly, people who continue moving forward when others decide to stop. Because in the end, success is not about being perfect. Success is about becoming a little better every day. And those small improvements, repeated long enough, can completely transform your life. Another important lesson is this. Many people believe they must feel ready before they begin. They wait for confidence. They wait for certainty. They wait for the perfect moment. But successful people understand that perfect moments rarely exist. Most of the time, you must begin before you feel ready. Think about the first time you learned something new. Maybe it was riding a bicycle. Maybe it was driving a car. Maybe it was speaking English. In the beginning, everything felt uncomfortable. You made mistakes. You felt nervous. But you started anyway. And because you started, you improved. Listen carefully. Fear is often a sign that you are growing. Fear appears when you leave your comfort zone. Fear appears when you try something new. Fear appears when you challenge yourself. This does not mean you should stop. It means you are moving in the right direction. Many people allow fear to control their decisions. They avoid opportunities because they are afraid of failure. They avoid challenges because they are afraid of embarrassment. They avoid growth because they are afraid of discomfort. As a result, they remain stuck in the same place. Successful people feel fear too. The difference is that they do not allow fear to make their decisions. They take action despite feeling nervous. They move forward despite uncertainty. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action while fear is present. Another important truth is this: every great achievement begins with a small step. Nobody starts at the finish line. Nobody begins as an expert. Nobody wakes up one day with unlimited confidence and perfect skills. Growth always starts small. A single page can become a book. A single lesson can become fluency. A single workout can become a healthy body. A single decision can change an entire life. Never underestimate the power of small beginnings. Small beginnings often create extraordinary endings. Remember this carefully. The future you dream about is created by the actions you take today. Not next week. Not next year. Today. Every day is an opportunity to move closer to your goals. Every day is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Another lesson successful people understand is self-belief. If you constantly tell yourself that you cannot improve, your mind begins to accept that idea. If you constantly repeat negative thoughts, your confidence becomes weaker. Your actions become smaller. Your progress slows down. That is why your inner voice matters. Pay attention to the words you say to yourself. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I am learning." Instead of saying, "I always fail," say, "I am improving." These simple changes can completely transform your mindset over time. Your brain listens to the thoughts you repeat every day. Feed your mind with encouragement, not negativity. Feed your mind with possibility, not limitation. The way you speak to yourself influences the way you see the world and the way you see your future. Another important truth is this: success is not about being better than everyone else. Success is about becoming better than you were yesterday. Some people spend their lives competing with others. They compare their progress. They compare their achievements. They compare their lives. But comparison often creates frustration. There will always be someone faster, someone richer, someone more experienced. If you focus only on other people, you will never appreciate your own growth. Focus on your journey. Focus on your improvement. Focus on your progress. Look back and remember where you started. Remember the challenges you have already overcome. Remember the things that once seemed impossible. You have grown more than you realize. You have learned more than you think. And you are capable of much more than you imagine. Listen carefully. Life is not a race. Success is not a competition. Your journey belongs to you. Move at your own pace. Learn at your own pace. Grow at your own pace. The important thing is to keep moving forward. Another powerful lesson is persistence. Persistence means continuing even when things become difficult. Persistence means continuing even when results are slow. Persistence means refusing to quit when challenges appear. This quality separates successful people from everyone else. Many people start with excitement. Very few continue with determination. Starting is important, but continuing is even more important. The ability to continue during difficult times is one of the greatest strengths a person can develop. Imagine a river flowing toward the ocean. The river does not stop when it meets a rock. It does not stop when the path becomes difficult. It finds a way around the obstacle. It continues moving forward, day after day, year after year. Eventually, it reaches its destination. You must develop the same mindset. Obstacles are not signals to quit. Obstacles are part of the journey. Challenges are not proof that success is impossible. Challenges are opportunities to become stronger. Every difficulty teaches a lesson. Every setback contains wisdom. Remember this carefully. The people who succeed are not always the most talented. They are not always the smartest. They are not always the luckiest. Often, they are simply the people who refuse to quit. They stayed committed. They stayed focused. They stayed patient. The psychology of success is built on simple principles. Believe in growth. Take responsibility. Build strong habits. Stay disciplined. Be patient. Learn from failure. Take action despite fear. And never stop moving forward. One day, you will look back and realize something amazing. The small actions that seemed insignificant were actually changing your life. The daily habits were building your future. The difficult moments were making you stronger. The setbacks were teaching valuable lessons. Success was never one giant moment. Success was thousands of small moments connected together. Success was the decision to continue when quitting seemed easier. Success was the decision to believe when doubt appeared. Success was the decision to act when fear tried to stop you. So, believe in yourself. Trust the process. Stay consistent. Stay patient. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep moving forward. Because the life you want is built one day at a time, one choice at a time, and one step at a time. If this video helped you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Mr. English Stories. Leave a comment below and tell us what success means to you. Thank you for watching, and remember, every great achievement starts with a single step. See you in the next story.